Linebacker Kuony Deng. If you do have questions, if you could put them in the chat or put that you would like to ask a question in the chat. We'll start with Jeff Verrado from SI.
Kuony, how you doing this morning?
I'm well. How you doing today?
I'm okay. Thanks for taking the time to talk with us. Can you tell me, in what ways do you expect or do you feel like you need to be an improved player, a different player? Are your responsibilities the same as they were a year ago, or have they added more to the plate for you? Or talk about that if you would.
Yeah. I think I'm kind of just on the natural curve of progression. You work hard all year for a certain amount of games, and you get excited when those games finally come around to showcase the work that you've put in. So I think putting on some size, definitely, just in these first practices, I've definitely been able to feel it. Because, running around, I didn't really feel it. You just feel the same. So I think I'm carrying it well, but, I've been able to feel it, taking on some of these blocks and, getting after some of these guys in practice. So, I think just overall physicality, durability, IQ, just understanding, it's all dramatically improved. So, I feel like I've improved my game in every single aspect. I don't know if that's a good answer for you, but I honestly do. You know what I mean? I've been trying to work on everything, and, I think I've taken steps forward in every category.
When you say that you feel it with a little bit of extra weight and strength, what you mean is you think the other guy feels it?
Yeah, that's what I mean. So they've been telling me after practice they feel it more. So
that's what you're looking for, right?
That's good. Yeah, that's good feedback.
One of the things that we talked with Peter Sherman about a few minutes ago was your leadership qualities and sort of how that manifests itself. I think that sounds like something that kind of comes naturally to you anyway, but how are you trying to demonstrate leadership on this team, especially now that Weaver's gone and you're sort of moving into more of that role perhaps? Obviously your styles of leadership might be somewhat different, but in terms of, do you see that something that you're comfortable with?
Yeah, for sure, man. I think I've tried to be a leader my entire life. Those are kind of things that have been instilled in me, like through my family, to be honest. So I think, my entire life I've been a leader to, my peers and the people around me. And I'm just trying to continue to do that. Being an older guy on the team, I definitely think that there's a leadership role there. And, I think the way that I execute that is just, just through a genuine desire to see everybody be their best. You know what I mean? So, I think when you care about people, it's easier to get the best out of them. So, I'm really just kind of loving up on these guys, just continue to expect them to give their best and, getting on them when there are things that, we don't tolerate and are non-negotiable. So, things like loafs, not playing physical enough, those are the type of things I get on people about, right? But besides that, I'm the type of guy who builds people up, loves them up and, just brings energy.
And the whole locker room situation is quite a bit different, right? You guys don't have much access to be all together in the locker room. So does that change the dynamic?
I think so. It's weird. I mean, this whole thing is weird. It's a blessing to be doing this right now in general. You know what I mean? So, the locker room space is usually that's a good time for all of us to just hang out. Just be friends, be boys. I think we still get that, but we just don't. When we're not practicing, we're not all up on each other, all around each other. So yeah, it's different for sure. We every day, we bring our loop home. We're bringing it back to get cleaned. We're going through protocol to get into the building. Keeping our mask up when we're not in the middle of a rep. So it's different, but at the same time, it's the most normal I've felt in a long time. So.
Thanks, Kuony.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll move on to Rusty Simmons from the Chronicle.
Kuony, you answered quite a bit of this with Jeff's question about leadership, but Cal put out a video of you mic'd up at a practice here recently. Just wondering how natural that is for you. Is that what you would be doing regardless of cameras and mics?
Yeah, for sure. Honestly, that's kind of how I am every day. there's probably some pretty funny content that didn't make it. You know, I appreciate Nick Mitchell. Probably some bleeps that you know, he couldn't put on there, but that's kind of how I am in general. You know, I love playing football and I love being around my teammates. So that's kind of just what comes out. You know, this can really be a grind in terms of just showing up every single day and trying to get better. So, you know, you try to have fun with it, you know, but at the same time, it's laser focused. So you kind of just, you know, you through your own personality, you kind of have your own approach to the game. And, you know, for me, it's kind of just lifting people up, hyping them up, you know, chest bumps and just all type of stuff like that. That's kind of always been the way that I've been. And, you know, I just try to be a good teammate.
Yeah. One of the other leaders who's back on the defense is Cam Bynum, who I guess is now back in practice for a couple of sessions. What's it been like having Cam back there?
It's nice having Cam, man. I think we got off to a really good start. You know, there was a while there where he was going through procedures and protocols, so we didn't have him. And so we were bringing great energy on defense. And then, you know, when you bring a guy like that back to practice, it just adds even more fuel to the fire. So, you know, obviously you guys can't be around, but, you know, me and Cam, we're chest bumping, you know, lifting people up, you know, and just trying to really execute on defense and get better every single day. So it's nice to have him back. You know, his work ethic, his approach to the game, and all the things that he brings is invaluable. So I'm really thankful to have him back. You know, that's my brother, and I got a lot of love for him.
I don't know if any of his post-practice stuff relates directly to you, but I see him out there with the DBs going through technician stuff of footwork and all that. Have you paid much attention to that? Does that mean anything to the rest of the guys when they see him out there doing that?
Footwork, I mean, yeah. I mean, it's a given. You know, Cam's going to get his work. And, you know, it's important, you know, to kind of set a standard of work, you know, for your room and for everybody around you. You know, so, you know, his thing is, you know, he's getting a lot of footwork in and continuing to drill, you know, get repetition. And, you know, that is important, you know, like, you know, since I've gotten here, you know, I think we all try to learn from each other. So, you know, since I've gotten here, like I've gotten drills off of him that, you know, I can kind of apply more to my linebacker stuff. I've gotten stuff off of Elijah, you know what I mean? Like Elijah's gotten stuff off of me. He's playing safety now. Sometimes he rotates into the box. So I think, you know, just between, you know, all of our leaders, you know, all of our hard workers, you know, we're all constantly trying to learn ways to get better. And put in that extra work. And I think it's really important that, especially us being the oldest guys, you know, we're still the ones grinding, like the freshmen that are trying to earn a spot. And I think those guys seeing stuff like that, seeing Cam doing things like that, you know, it carries a lot of weight. And this is good for the overall culture of our team, because those are the type of things that'll sustain no matter who's here. You know what I'm saying? No matter who's in the building, if you can continue to pass those type of things on.
Right on. Thanks, Kuony.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll go to Trace Travers with Rivals.
Hey, Coin. When we talked to Coach Sermon a little bit ago, we talked about getting in the 2-huddle stuff since you guys are in pads now. How was getting back to the 2-huddle stuff where you guys have to align and assign, and kind of when you've had such a layoff in the off season?
That's fun. That's normalcy. You know, I think whenever you hear Coach Wilcox talk about 2-huddle, I think that's always going to be who we are as a program. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You know, lining up, getting the sign, you know, if the ball's going to get snapped and it's going to be a physical rep, I think that's who we are. And it's fun. Like, that's what gets me jacked up. That's what gives me that little bit of a rush in practice. So when we get around the 2-huddle, they start running power. They start running some of this other run scheme, some of this funky stuff they got, man. That's what I look forward to every single day. That's what keeps me going. And, you know, I'm just having a blast right now, to be honest.
Has it been a little bit easier for you since you are a bit bigger, a bit stronger, a bit more feared, I'd say?
Yeah, for sure. I think, like I said, you might have to ask some of the old linemen about, you know, what's going on in practice. But, you know, it's fun. We're having fun out there. You know, we're all making each other better.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay, Jasper Sunding from the Daily Cal.
Hey, Quinn, you said it yourself. We're not out there. We can't watch you guys, but you've been able to watch everyone on your team. So I was wondering if you could spread some of the love and give us, tell us what you see. Pay your guys some compliments. Who's playing well?
Yeah, I like this. First off, I'm gonna talk about the defense. I've been really impressed with just the approach, the overall energy. Like I was telling you guys a little bit earlier, that we've been able to bring on the defense. The attention to detail, the focus, the energy, the juice, those things are all showing up. You know what I mean? All of our veteran guys, guys like me, Elijah Hicks, Cam Bynum, Josh Drayden, we're running film sessions pre-meeting. You know what I mean? It's just some of these young guys, they're hungry, trying to figure out what we got going on, and, they want to be on the field. So it's good to have that senior leadership of guys who, are able to help guys out, show them how to watch tape, show them how to continue to work on those techniques. And it's good that we all have an overall understanding of the structure of our defense, and Coach Sermon's been doing a great job with that. In terms of guys just doing a good job, I've been really impressed with some of these guys up front, the D-line. Ziande Johnson, the Johnson brothers, Ziande Johnson and Brett Johnson. Ziande, I feel like he's taking a big step forward. And, to go from your 5th year to your 6th year, and to continue to get better at the rate that he has, and the things I've been seeing him do, I've been really impressed with him. Obviously, he's one of my best friends, so I'm really excited for what's coming for him. And then Brett is just continuing to be a freak, honestly. And we're having a blast with that. It's good to see Brett continue to just pick up on the playbook, continue to be himself, continue to twerk people and throw them around. So, in the D-line, I've been impressed with those guys. Braxton Croto, that's a kid who's one of the hardest working guys in our program, hungry football player. Physically, he's got what it takes. He's got the right attitude. I'm really excited for him and the role that he's going to have in our defense, if he just keeps doing what he's doing. In my room, inside linebacker room, I've been really happy with the way these younger guys have been practicing, the way they've been approaching practice. Tat is taking that step to, put himself in the position that he wants to be in. And, he's a big, strong, fast guy. And, I'm excited for him. Mo Yosefa, he's doing a great job, just being really instinctual, flying around. I was just talking to him yesterday, and, I was just telling him about how he's having he's doing a great job. And he tells me, like, he just looks forward to the next practice every single time. Like, if he makes a mistake in practice and he sees it on film, he's up at night thinking about, I can't wait to get into practice tomorrow. And that's such a good attitude to have. And I'm really, really excited about his future. Blake Anzalatis, kid doing a great job. His understanding of the defense is continuing to grow. He's finding opportunities to get vertical, to, be physical. He loves contact, and, he's been displaying that. Kyle Smith, Andy Alfieri, our new freshman. I've been impressed with his study, his dedication to the game. He's coming in early, watching film with me, continuing to get in office hours in the morning with the coaches. Like, he's film junkie. He's getting it in, and he's retaining information. So that's really cool to see. Cam Good is just being Cam Good, obviously making Cam Good plays, interceptions, sacks, all that. That's my boy, that's my brother. So I'm really excited for him. I'm glad he's healthy. And, I'm excited for what he's going to do. And then on the back end, those guys are continuing to, kind of keep the tradition of what they got going on back there. You know what I'm saying? Those guys are working extremely hard, showing up, making plays. Elijah, his transition to safety has been really smooth. We've been communicating a lot, obviously. Sometimes he rotates down to the box. He's playing will linebacker. Sometimes he's in the post. I think he's really starting to embrace that role of just being all over the field, being a communicator, getting used to, obviously we always communicated with each other, but, from safety, you're communicating more, doing more, and taking more command. And, he's embraced that fully. Cam Bynum's being Cam Bynum, locking people up. Josh Drayden, Shiggy, they're all ballers. Trey Pastor, is a young buck who really, you know, has an opportunity to provide some value to our team. He's another kid who's just been coming in early, trying to watch film with me, trying to watch film with Josh, Cam, Elijah, the coaching staff. And, you know, I think we're going to see some good things out of him. So I think I might have just mentioned, I don't know how many people I just mentioned there. I think I mentioned the whole defense, but, you know, I'm just really happy with the way guys have been working. I'm really happy with the direction that we're going. You know, we're not satisfied with where we're at, but I think we're off to a really good start.
That's pretty good. Go ahead.
Anyone on the offense giving you some particular trouble?
Man, shout out to Coach Musgrave first and foremost. His scheme, they got some nasty stuff. They got some nasty stuff that, you know, I think is going to give a lot of teams some fits. You know, Chase is just continuing to be, you know, the leader of that offense, continuing to be steady, show his ability to make good throws, continuing to move around the pocket. He's been rolling out a lot in practice, making us all work, you know, stay plastered, try to keep him contained. But I think the offensive line in general, I can really see, you know, they're really starting to solidify as a unit and, you know, show up as a unit. You know, those guys are playing physical football. You know, they got a whole new, obviously, scheme and you know, they got some different run game that they're bringing to us. And, you know, they're doing a good job of showing up, you know what I'm saying, executing their scheme. And a kid I think about is McCade Mattar. He's a physical dude. He's a nasty dude. I like that. I think he brings that competition to practice. You know, I talk a lot of smack. You know, I like to get in people's ears in practice, and he's a kid that doesn't back down from any of that. So I really like what I've been seeing from him. Obviously, the older guys continue to, you know, just be themselves. Guys like Jake Curhan, Will Craig being healthy. You can see a lot of good things from him. But the O-line in general, Mike Safell as well. They're doing some good things. So the O-line unit, we got a ton of good backs, which is really important. Really important, I think, especially with some of this nasty run game we got. So to be able to have multiple guys that we trust. You know, obviously guys like Chris, guys like Marcel, guys like Broderick, you know, who just grad transferred in. I'm really excited about what we'll be able to do with the run game, having change of pace guys, you know, Broderick and Chris being two bigger guys, and then Marcel, the change of pace that he brings, and, you know, just the overall shiftiness that he brings. It's cool, man. I'm excited about our offense. And then Jeremiah Hunter, kid from Fresno, he went to Ziondez High School. He's a baller. You know what I'm saying? And I think about guys like young guys like him and Makai, and just the overall ability that they have to, you know, win their one-on-ones. I think the future of this offense is going to be really, really exciting.
Okay, Jasper, you good?
Yeah, that was all. That was lovely. Thanks.
Kuony, you'll be, when you're a coach someday and they sit down for lunch with you at the media luncheons, you'll be able to carry the whole hour for them. So good job.
Hey, so when you, like you said, you know, it's time to start giving love to guys and, you know, kind of giving them their flowers and, you know, acknowledging the hard work they put in. That's something I'll always do. So.
Awesome. All right. We got a few more questions for you here. Jeff Ferrato for Kuony.
Hey, Kuony, how much thought do you give to a year from now, the NFL? Do you have any sense of what it is they're looking for out of you? And, you know, you're built a little bit more traditionally like an outside guy, but you're playing effectively inside. What kind of response do you get from, if you get any yet, from scouts on that as well?
You know, Jeff, I think I'm a guy who can play all four linebacker positions. I think I can play in any scheme, whether it's 4 down, 3 down. So to be honest, I think I can, you know, I think I'm unique in the way that if Cal asked me tomorrow to play full-time outside linebacker, I'll be physically capable to do it and be able to do it at a high level. You know what I mean? If Cal asked me to switch from Will to Mike, I'd be able to do it if they wanted. So you know what I mean? So I think it gives me a certain amount of confidence knowing that I can play all 4 linebacker positions and I know that I can do it at a high level. So, you know, I think it's just continuing to sharpen all my tools, you know, things that I'm being asked to do in practice within our scheme. And it's, you know, you talk about that extra work, it's also putting in that extra work. You know what I mean? So I got bags. I got all type of things in my apartment. I work pass rush on my own still. I work footwork on my own. So I think it's just understanding that, I bring a lot of different things to the table and continue to keep those tools sharp. And, whenever they ask of those type of things from me, I'll be ready to put that on display.
You have any idea how NFL people might view you in terms, are they pigeonholing you or do they see that versatility that you're talking about?
I try not to, worry about what NFL teams and scouts are saying about me too much, but I know there's a lot of people who, are excited about the idea of being able to bring different things and being multiple in your abilities. And, you never want to be a tweener. You don't want to be that type of guy. You want to be the type of guy who can do everything at the highest level. And, that's what I try to pride myself on.
Thanks a lot, Kuony.
Yep.
Okay. Rusty Simmons from the Chronicle.
Yeah, Coin, this is kind of inside football, but Coach Sermon always talks about the defense finding its buddy when tackling, whether that's the guy next to you or the sideline or whatever. Can you football 101 that for me? Tell me what he means when he says that you have to know where your buddy is.
Yeah, so it's a multitude of different things that he's referencing, right? If you're making an open field tackle, it's understanding where's the ball carrier at. Is he outside the numbers? If he's outside the numbers, you probably want to use the sideline as your buddy, right? If he's not outside the numbers, you probably, just want to be able to use whatever that near hip, whatever that near shoulder is to get the ball carrier down and understand where the pursuit's coming from. And then, when you want to add layers to that, I think it's understanding the scheme. You know what I'm saying? The defense that you're in pre-snap, understanding the formation that they're in, and understanding how you can where the other available defenders are, given the context of what play you're in and what formation they're in. You know what I'm saying? So if a team is running outside zone into trips, into the boundary, into a nub tight end, I'm going to approach that completely differently in my pursuit, in my angle of trying to attack the ball than I would be if they're in a different formation. You know what I mean? So as a linebacker, I think that's an important thing to understand because it also allows you to understand the times and the positions when you can really be a downhill football player and the times and the positions where it's really important to leverage the football. Coach Sermon is talking about keeping that ball carrier bottled in, understanding where your teammates are at, and not making it hard for yourself.
And as you mentioned, down and distance, formations may play a huge part in that. Can you tell me, you've been playing this game a long time. Are these terms that you've heard before, buddy, or find your helper? Are those things that go from team to team?
Yeah, I mean, the language that you speak on any team is going to be a little bit different than the language you speak on another team. But, the idea of buddy tackling or vice tackling a ball carrier, you're going to hear that wherever you go.
And I know you guys only have a couple days of padded practice, but how are you guys doing with that right now?
It's fun. I think that's where the competition comes out. When the physicality shows up, it's a good time to figure out, some of the younger guys, what they're made of. And it's just a lot of fun. That's when you can start checking people's temperatures and you can really start competing. And I think it's respect at the end of practice always when you know that the offense showed up, they're playing as hard as they can, trying to execute what they can at the highest level, and also knowing the defense showed up that same day, playing the hardest they can, playing as physical as they can, bringing the best to the table. So I think it's just after the physical practices, that's when you really feel like that team camaraderie of just that mutual respect of, oh yeah, like these guys are working. You know what I'm saying? They're continuing to make progress. So, we had one of those yesterday. We did, we had a period, Coach Wilcox, he called it crossover. So like at the end of practice, there was a surprise. Like we didn't know what the period was going to consist of, but it was just going to be some type of competition. So, we had team 2 huddle the day before that. Then we did, fastball, we did multiple team periods. And, the surprise was more team 2 huddle. So we were excited about that. Everybody got juiced up, and we just got after it.
Great stuff. Thanks, Coin.
Yep.
Okay, Jake Curtis from SI.
Yeah, you referred to the offense of having some funky stuff. Can you give me some adjectives to describe the new offense?
For sure. Obviously, I'm gonna try to be as vague as possible
Right.
with that, but
Just general adjectives.
it's you're seeing some more NFL stuff. I think in college football, a lot of times you get a lot of 10 personnel, you get a lot of 11 personnel. You're seeing inside zone, outside zone, power, counter. And sometimes in kind of the simplest ways that they're executed. And when you watch an NFL game, a lot of times you'll see some of these offensive coordinators, take some of these run concepts and block them differently. And so, we're seeing some run schemes that are blocked differently than we've ever seen before. And back in the spring, I wasn't participating. I wasn't able to participate at the time, but Coach Sermon grabbed me and said, this is the best thing that could possibly happen for your future as a football player, because this is what you'll see in the future. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these looks that you get from teams is more like checkers. Now we get to play chess every day in practice. And so it's a lot of fun. I love it. I'm always watching film. I'm always asking the O-line, okay, how are you guys doing this? What's the coaching point here? And I get the benefit of being able to know that I'm getting better every single day. So I love it. It's a lot of fun.
You mentioned the words funky and nasty. Any other words to describe the offense?
I like using the word nasty just because I'm like, oh yeah, I think people are going to struggle dealing with this. You know what I mean? So especially with people not fully knowing what we're going to be doing yet. Sometimes you get a look in practice, and you might be more used to it because you've seen it a couple times, but you're just thinking in the back of your head like, oh, that's going to hit. So I have a lot of confidence. Coach Musgrave is an amazing coach. He's given us all type of formations. I think they have like a million different formations, and they get to their stuff out of a million different looks. So it's really cool to see, and it's fun to go against.
Thanks.
Okay, I think we got a final one in the queue from Owen Kaminsky. If anybody else has one, please put it in the queue now. Otherwise, after Owen's, we'll let Coin go. Owen?
Hey, how's it feel to hit Zach Angelillo in practice?
Zach, that's my boy. He's one of my good friends on the team. I was a little sad to see him leave the inside linebacker room. But he left for a noble cause, to bring that fullback position back. And he's been doing a good job.
Okay, anybody have any final questions for Coin? Coin, we really appreciate your time and all the insight, man. Thank you very much.
Yep.